Hey guys, what's can you guys help me out again in the free chat? What's the name of Aaron's gym again? Because I want to call him again. I got to talk to Scott. You should have on. Oh, you're right, Eva. I should have it. You're right. Here it is. I got it. Never mind. I got it. World Gym. Downtown Gym or something.
Downtown Gym, this is Scott.
Hey, Scott, is Jonathan Geyer there?
Is who?
Jonathan Geyer.
John works a full-time job during the day.
Okay, because I was watching his boxing videos, and I wanted to see if he wanted to do a partnership or a $100 sponsor.
He doesn't come in till night, and sometimes just sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's twice a week. So he just does the YouTube thing to help him out. I mean, if you go on Facebook, that's where you've seen it, or YouTube, you can certainly ask him. I mean, I can't speak for him and that, but, I guess since you got a hold of me, I mean, you can certainly get a hold of him on Facebook.
Yeah. No, I think I think you guys do a good job down there, and I'm really into it, and I think there's room for it being monetized.
Room for what? Say that word again.
For the videos to be monetized.
Monetize? What do you mean by monetize?
To make money.
Hear you right.
To make money in promotion.
Oh, well, it isn't so much for that as it just is to get word out on boxing and as a hobby. I mean, he likes what he does. I mean, it isn't about money. I mean, when you do this, I mean, there's no money in teaching, in boxing. I mean, jiu-jitsu, MMA is by far the leader in things like that.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to do MMA, but, as far as, promoting, I mean, we only have so many hours, and I don't have enough coaches and helpers. I know I don't have enough time. John only has 1 or 2 days or nights a week. So, I mean, we have a manageable number down here. It's fun with what we do. I mean, and then really that's all. I mean, I wouldn't know what. I mean, there's no money in boxing, pro boxing, but God, that's such a small percentage.
Right.
Versus like MMA. I mean, it'd be nice to do MMA stuff, but again, there too. I mean, there's only so many hours in a day. And you got to find qualified people to teach that, know what they're talking about. So, but yeah, I mean, that's, kind of my take on it. I mean, if there's other way. I mean, I've done this for 27 years. And, I mean, you got to enjoy it. There aren't a lot of people that would do what I do, but it's just like high school coaches.
Right.
Why do they coach for 10 years, 20 years? I mean, they enjoy it. They like it. They like working with people. Full-time for me, but, yeah, part-time for the coaches that, like it. I don't think they would do it every day. I mean, John picked that hobby up of doing the YouTube stuff. And, yeah, once in a while, I kind of get carried away because there's always detractors. There's always people out there. You can't do this. I don't like that. Well, hey, it is what it is. What do you do?
Right.
I mean, it's not like I'm driving a Maserati. It's not like the people of Feeding Our Future that's on the freaking news every channel every day that bilk the government how many dollars of money. But,
right.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, if you called back, I'd say call back tonight, but because I'm out on the floor, John's out on the floor. I mean, if I answer the phone, I can, I'll answer it. I try to keep it out there, but if it's busy,
right.
I don't, but if you go on Facebook, it's Jonathan Geyer.
Okay.
You can certainly get a hold of him because, again, he's the one that would, and I told him, hey, if you want to benefit off it a little bit, cool. I mean, I don't know how much interest there is to watching people doing the same thing over and over and over again, but maybe that's what you mean by, modernizing it.
Yeah, modernizing it.
Modernize. I don't know, it's monetized, but modernized. MOD as in dog. I get it.
Right.
So, but
how long you been coaching? How long you been coaching? Because I've seen you in these videos.
Oh God, a long time. I'm 60. I followed the boxing here in St. Cloud, God, since 1982, because there were a couple of my classmates from Sauk Rapids that were amateur boxing. But I wrestled. But back in the 80s, that was a prime time for boxing.
Yeah.
Of course, that's when it was also in the movies as well. You had the
Rocky movies.
Come out in Rocky in 1982, the Tiger. I mean, it was kind of a collision of a lot of excitement. And of course, that was the age of Ali, Larry Holmes, Dwayne Bobbitt. I mean, like I said, it was just the timing was perfect. And Howard Cosell. People forget Howard Cosell
and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I mean, those two played off each other.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's something to play off of and start, it was then.
Yeah.
And the storylines, the hatred between Frazier and Ali.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it's funny, nobody brought up about race at that time. Maybe it's because Frazier and Ali hated each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how can that be when there's a race issue? There wasn't a race issue at all. But, and again, there's so many different storylines. But anyway, sorry, I don't mean to waste your time.
No. I'm fascinated. I appreciate it.
So, but like I said, that's kind of the perspective that I come from, and you kind of get hooked on it. You kind of get addicted to it. I think too, people forget about the athleticism that gets behind boxing. People think, and they have this idea that, it's a poor man's sport, or it's a way to get out of the gutter. Well, what sport doesn't have that? I mean, boxing's kind of that thing that can get highlighted because it's one person. Well, now the only thing that's changed, it just isn't the one person of Mike Tyson and one trainer, Cus D'Amato. I mean, you got 20 people, 25 people, 30 people involved, that, hey, they want to be a part of the sport. They wanted to be treated equal, get equal attention, equal time. And that's kind of been, it's no different in high school. You want to give those individuals a good opportunity, an equal opportunity, and to provide them with a good experience, without getting hurt. And really, it's not like, you're training for a Super Bowl, but you get in shape, you have some good camaraderie, and you have fun.
Yeah.
And if you compete, great. And again, that's no different than high school, junior high, or college. Sometimes too, these people, you need more one-on-one attention. Well, there's no such thing as one-on-one. You're watching too many old boxing movies. So, but
do you have a podcast? You should do a podcast.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, you can take with what I just said, to do that. I don't know if I have any time I try to keep up myself. I mean, I run the conditioning, and I try to lead by example. As some coaches do. I mean, I relate a lot of it to football coaching. Well, this isn't football. But tell me the difference. Okay, you lead by example, people will follow. I mean, not every coach can do that. Some can get by with words. Some can get by with just leading. Some can get by with, with both. The Stoic looked at Bud Grant had for football. I mean, you got a lot of coaching stories in the NFL, in college. Well, even in high school, Bud Grant's son, Mike Grant, ended up coaching football, baseball. Of course, if you're just involved in one sport, well, yeah. I mean, I've coached baseball, I've coached wrestling, I've coached youth football, and you see it. And there is a connection. But, the main thing is people, they want to be taught, they want to be led, and they want to have a good experience. And when you can give that, wow. I mean, and every once in a while you get some people that, well, it's funny because a lot of boxing coaches think they, just because they box, they can coach. A lot of people don't realize, to be a true coach on the junior high or even high school level, I mean, you should go to a major university, to get a coaching minor. Sometimes too, the Minnesota State High School League just isn't going to allow people to, hey, you're going to come in off the street and you're going to coach. Not like a high school. I mean, yes, every school board has to approve every application that somebody, how do you want to say, applies to be a assistant varsity coach. You got to have some knowledge, but at the same time, too, what type of education do you have? College education. There's more to boxing than just, you're going to go out there and hit somebody. What about nutrition? What about sports psychology? What about camaraderie? I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it because, you don't have to jump in the ring to be successful. Some people think that. Some people, hey, I had 20 fights. Yeah, so? Well, I'm undefeated. Yeah, so? Well, I'm a street fighter. Yeah, so? I mean, what do you have to bring to the table that's going to, get these, the people that come in from point A to point B?
Right.
So, but like I said, I mean, you're more than welcome to use what I said because really it's what coaching any sport is all about. And of course there are coaches that'll weed themselves out. Well, you can tell when people get bored. Or they're not paying attention. Or, as you see on TV, hey, the coach lost his guys. I mean, look what happened last night to the University of Minnesota men's basketball team. Who would have thought Ben Johnson would have got fired?
I know.
He was assistant coach, head coach, and, does it show that we need to win more? Well, I suppose, but he had 4 years to try to put it together, but it doesn't help when you got a transfer portal, and every coach faces that. Every year coaches face that now on the college level because of the transfer portal. And, of course, the main thing behind college, a lot of college universities, I mean, football and basketball, because those are the money makers for major universities, in America. I follow a lot. I watch a lot. I love the sports. I love the coaching aspect. But yeah. So, I'm sorry to talk your
No, it was fascinating getting to know it and getting the word out. My buddy Aaron, he's like an 0-2 boxer. He doesn't do it a lot, but is he allowed to sign up too at the gym? Like, what are memberships run?
Oh, you said who's 0-2?
Yeah, he's 0-2 as a boxer.
Oh, you mean somebody that you know?
Yeah, a friend of mine who lives in the St. Cloud area.
Oh, well, I mean, there's 3 boxing clubs that they could, possibly join. There's a Respect Boxing Club. There's St. Cloud Area Golden Gloves. So, I mean, depending on where they go, the price will certainly change. And that, I mean, too, when they come in, a lot of people think they can, just jump in the ring, and it's not about just jumping in the ring and outdoing somebody. I mean, you kind of go through the process no different than baseball, no different than basketball. Because, again, how do you know? You don't. You just can't. I mean, Everybody has an attorney, and the risk of fighting, whether it be MMA, whether it be boxing, or whether it be just friendly fighting, the liability and the risk is high for any person to get hurt. And you don't want that. You want to be, you got to train people to even get to that point. And again, you got to watch. Some people are coming out there so they can go beat up their buddies, probably in a fun way. Who knows? I mean, everybody has their own intention, but you still have to give everybody that equal time for whatever level that you're training them for. So,
right. Well, I appreciate it. And again, what are your hours?
I open up at 9 in the morning. I know it's quiet during the day, till 9 at night, Monday through Friday. So
okay.
But yeah, if you want to, like I said, John is probably the best way. I mean, I've never had to call John, so I couldn't give you a phone number off the top of my head because I've never called him.
That's fine.
He's always here twice a week or sometimes once a week. But he is on Facebook.
No, I'll find him. Scott, I appreciate your time. You've been lovely, and I'll continue to promote your business. And let John know that these videos are fantastic.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, he likes it. I mean, like I said, I don't, after a while, it's the same thing over and over again. And American ideology, if something doesn't change, they get bored. But really, if you do the same thing over and over, repetition, the other B word, you get better. And I think some people forget that. Although I know John, he always talks about, John tries to elaborate and go off on different things, but everybody has their way of trying to reach an audience out there. And just like you, if you have a podcast.
I do.
I mean, hey, you want viewership. You want people to subscribe to you.
Yeah, my buddy,
to listen to you.
My buddy Carl in Rochester has a podcast, and it's just repetition. It's the same thing over and over and over. But that's what you got to do, right?
Well, sometimes too, some people will take it, and it's like they hear it 10 times. This guy's on to something, And after a while, you do change it because all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, my membership or my viewership or listenership is growing. Maybe I'm going to change some things up because they don't realize there is audiences for everything, good and bad. I mean, somebody's going to listen. But the key is, okay, how fast can you get it to grow? How can you make it work? Me, I'm very content with what I have, because, too, if it gets unmanageable, how can you handle it? And even if you make all the money in the world, when are you going to have time to spend it? And even if you do spend it, the things you spend it on, don't you want to have time to enjoy those things?
Right.
I know I do. So, but anyway, but again, that's what it is. And hopefully you can get a hold of John. And if you're ever in the area, close to the area, or you want to try the call after 6:30 on a Tuesday or Thursday night, if I don't answer the phone, it means I'm still out there practicing, talking, or getting after somebody because they didn't listen.
I appreciate it, Scott. Have a good one. We're going to be plugging your business on my podcast, so and I'll get a hold of Jonathan.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, take care, man. Have a good day.
Yep, you too. Bye.
All right, bye.